everybody. Good to see you again. I guess I need to apologize for my appearance right now. I am still recovering from radiation, which will be in another vlog. I will do a whole long thing on radiation. That's just not where we are right now. But I'm trying to recover from that, and it's not going as quickly as I had hoped it would. So again, I apologize for the burns and all that, but it's just part of the process. So today we're going to talk about the surgery where we left off last time, and just going to go over with you what that was like and how it went and what I did throughout it, and how I got through it. 2 days before I had my surgery, I bought a dial antibiotic soap, and I washed in the shower with that. I bought a new shower scrub to use to make sure that I didn't have any bacteria anywhere on my body, just to try to avoid any kind of infection from my surgery. When I went in to have the surgery, I was supposed to be going in to have the deep flap surgery, DEIP flap, which is a bilateral mastectomy, and then they take the tissue, they do an incision from hip bone to hip bone and take that to do your reconstruction with. And that's what I originally went in to do. However, I had a serious upper respiratory infection, and originally they postponed the surgery for 3 weeks because of that infection and put me on some strong antibiotics. So when I went in to have the surgery, I was mostly over it, but I still had some sinus drainage and a little bit of a cough. And my surgeon was uncomfortable with that because the deep flap surgery is a long surgery. And he felt like it was too dangerous to try to do that surgery. So we went in and we did the bilateral mastectomy and removed the lymph nodes, but we did not do the reconstruction. They inserted what's called expanders instead, and decided that we would revisit the reconstruction when I was healthier. So on the day of the surgery that morning, we got up. I was supposed to be at the hospital at 5:30 a.m. and it was really a bad day for me. I was here with my husband, and I knew that I had lots of family and friends that were going to be at the hospital waiting for me, that would be very supportive of me throughout the surgery, and really of my husband too. And I got up and took a shower again and shaved my legs and washed my hair because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that for a long time. And pretty much just about had a nervous breakdown, and I don't think that I could have made myself go to that hospital and have that surgery if it hadn't been for my husband. I'm so thankful for him and his strength through it all. So we were supposed to put this cream on, this cream right here. They tell you to put this all over your breast, where they're going to take, for me it was my left breast, they were going to take the lymph nodes out of, and it numbs your breast so that they can put an injection and it will follow the line to lead them to the lymph nodes that they want to remove. And because I was such a basket case, I could not figure out how to open this tube of numbing cream. And you have to have it on an hour before you go to the hospital. And so I gave it to my husband, and I said, get this thing open. I cannot open this. And so he did everything he could to try to open it, and he couldn't figure out how to open it either. So he ended up taking it downstairs and putting it in the vise that he has down there, and he finally got the top off. But when he did, he was squeezing it so hard that he squeezed half of it and it went all over the wall. And then we were afraid we weren't going to have enough, so we were scraping it off the wall. So it was just a disaster. So I just want to say, other hospitals give their patients things to try to help them not be so nervous and anxious when they go. Vanderbilt does not. If you have anything that you can take before you go to help you calm down, or anything that you can do if you're nervous and upset like me, that's a good idea, because right on the back of this tube it says press down while turning, and we never saw that because we were so nervous and so upset and so anxious, and it was just such a bad day for us. It's very hard to go get in line for somebody to mutilate your body, and you know that you're not ever coming back from that. So yeah, that was really a hard day. Then when we got there, everybody was waiting for us. I was 45 minutes late for my surgery, and everybody was waiting for us. They had called to see if we were okay, if we were still coming, and so we went straight in, and they had told us before we went, I asked the nurse before I went if I needed to bring anything, if I was going to need to give them any money, if I needed my insurance card or my bank card, if I needed to bring anything, because I didn't want to bring those things to the hospital if I wasn't going to need them. And she said, no, you don't need to bring anything. Everything's all set. You just need to show up. So when we got there and everything was, we were already very anxious about the whole event, and we were checking in. Then she told us, the secretary there at the check-in said, oh, and you're going to need to pay $1,000 this morning. And I said, well, they told me we weren't going to need to pay anything. I don't have my bank card with me. And she said, well, they were wrong. You're going to have to pay $1,000 before you have this surgery. Unfortunately, again, my husband was there with me, and he had his bank card. But that was very, again, stressful and discouraging, and in my opinion, completely unnecessary. That could have been avoided, and I don't know who dropped the ball on that, but I tried to make sure that I was prepared. So I would just recommend for you, when you're planning your surgery, speak to people, whoever you need to talk to try to make sure that that's cleared up. It worked out fine for me because my husband did have his bank card, but if he hadn't, I don't know if they would have canceled the surgery or what they would have done. I wouldn't have minded if they canceled the surgery, but I knew I had a lot of people that had gotten up very early and come to that hospital to be there to support me, and I felt like it was unfair to them. So anyway, that's just a little bug in your ear to check on those things before you go to the hospital to have your surgery. So once I got in, I had put this cream on, and they came to get me and take me down to the area downstairs where they do the injection that helps them follow the lymph nodes. And I was really nervous about that because it sounded very painful. It was not. It was not painful at all. I didn't feel a thing. It did not bother me one single bit. So if you have to have that done, it was my experience that that is not painful or dramatic at all. The nurse that came to get me there at Vanderbilt was very sweet and encouraging, and I appreciated her kind words because I was having a very hard morning. Then they brought me back up to my room, and the people from anesthesiology came. And I have other health issues. That's why I'm at Vanderbilt. And he came in and told me his name, and I explained to him that I'm a very difficult patient to put under. I have woke up during 2 surgeries, and that anything that could go wrong with me would go wrong. And I really appreciated the fact that he listened to me. He took out a piece of paper and a pen, and he started asking me questions. He wrote down everything I said, and my IV, while he was standing there speaking with me, stopped working because my blood had already clotted it off. And so when he took me back to surgery, he put more IVs in. When I came out of surgery, I had 4 IVs, 2 in each arm, so that he could make sure that if one stopped, he could get to another one. When I came out from the surgery, it was like I had laid down and taken a nap for 3 minutes. It didn't seem, I was in surgery for almost 8 hours, and it was like it was nothing. And I wasn't sick, I didn't have a headache, I wasn't vomiting, I wasn't having any reaction to any medication, I didn't hurt anywhere. It was absolutely fabulous. So I strongly recommend getting a good anesthesiologist for your surgery, because it made all the difference in the world for me. When we came out of the surgery, they told us that they had gotten everything. There was no problem. I wasn't going to need chemo or radiation. They had very good results from my surgery, that I could go home and recover, and plan to come back and do my reconstruction, and everything would be okay. Spent the night in the hospital, and my girlfriend stayed with me, who is a nurse practitioner, or I mean a nurse midwife. And we just went in recovery, and they basically just left us there. They didn't come back and check on us. I didn't have an IV. They didn't bring us anything to eat. We woke up in the middle of the night and were trying to find somebody. We were somewhere in that hospital by ourselves. There wasn't another person anywhere. All the lights were off, and I was starving. So we got up and walked around and tried to go at least find a vending machine about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we couldn't even find that. We finally found someone to ask them if we could get anything to eat or drink, and they said we could walk to the cafeteria, which was about a half a mile from where we were. So being still groggy from my anesthesia, we didn't try to do that. So we just stayed there, and when the sun came up in the morning, a nurse came in, and my girlfriend said I think she would do better at home because I wasn't getting any care there. And so she said, yeah, she can go home. So we left, and we came home, and my family was here, and my girlfriend was here, and everybody was very encouraging and supportive. I never had any problems at all. I came out with 4 drains and sort of like a sports bra thing on that fastens in the front. And when this vlog is over, we'll put pictures on so that you can see what it looks like after you have a mastectomy. It's not pretty, but I'm putting it on so that you can know what it looks like. I couldn't find a picture to look at. It's scary and intimidating and heartbreaking, but the important thing to know to me would be, 1, what's going to happen when you come out, and 2, that you're going to come through it. It's going to be a hard place in your life, but it's not where you're going to stay. And it'll get better, and that's why I'm doing this video, to let you know what to expect, what your drains are going to look like, what your scars are going to look like. And as we move forward, you'll see the progression and come to see that this is just a very short period of time, and that things will get better. And my hope and prayer for you is that you have as much love and support in your life from family and or friends to help you get through these days. And I hope that this video is some help if you're going through this, to help you know what to expect. So there will be some pictures after this vlog to show you those things, and then some fun pictures too. And when we do the next vlog, we'll talk about going back to see the surgeon after my 2 weeks, and what they had to say about the surgery. Y'all have a great day. Thanks. Bye.